Set your butane torches to high and your expectations to low. Coming to you live from Just the Tip Cigars in the hills of the Steel City. Get ready to get your fix. This is the Cigar Junkies Podcast.
Welcome to the Cigar Junkies Podcast,
A cigar show for the community by the community.
a forum to talk stogies, booze, food, and anything else in the cigar lifestyle.
If you're looking for ratings, negativity, reviews, or an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place.
Whether you like what you hear or not, please join the conversation and let us know by finding us at the Cigar Junkies Facebook group.
Or emailing us at thecigarjunkies@gmail.com.
What's up, junkies? You're
I'm Corey.
Yep. Keep trying. Try again.
No.
I'm Sam.
It was fast, but it was there.
Oh,
And we're the Cigar Junkies, and if you're hanging out with us, that means that you are too. And what does that mean? That means you should be doing the things. Come on. Like, subscribe, share. We do the show for you for free. You know this is $1,000 value. Get out there, like, subscribe, share on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all of the places where you can get us. If you don't know where those are, Google it. Go to our URL, the Cigar Junkies
Cigar Junkies
podcast. I think it works either way. Yeah. I think we have both of them, but I think we always just say
CigarJunkies.com.
.com. And now this show's no good. They're going to pull that
That's
one.
all right.
you
We
know.
can cut that off, please.
He's quiet on the other end.
Yeah.
Who's notably absent?
That would be Big J.
Jason is not here.
Car
And,
troubles.
Yeah. So apparently he tried one, didn't work, turned around, drove back, grabbed the other one. That didn't work either. Somebody cut his brake lines.
No.
Ryan,
Yeah, probably.
pretty sure. Are you putting
He's like, I will beat
nutmeg
him
in your
there.
coffee?
That his suja, his fancy stuff. His sugar in the raw.
Okay.
Yeah. I got nothing.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Can we go ahead and do a fun? No, Jason doesn't need the funds. He just needs to know where to apply them instead of getting like a $15,000 tattoo on his arm for 6 weeks. Buy some car parts. You know what I mean?
It's fine.
That's cool.
I wish I was one of those people that was cool with like beater vehicles. It's just easier. You don't have that looming payment. You know?
I would like you to bear in mind that I am far away from you today.
Yes.
I could put the headphones on, I suppose, but then I will talk quiet and you won't.
Correct.
Be able to hear me.
It'll just reverse.
Right.
So I appreciate you as acknowledging that. I will be conscious of it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So we got to go one way or the other. I'm going headphone free. We've agreed to not mute during our commercial breaks, so you'll hear our shenanigans as they happen in person, as they do, and we'll try to make this work. I think it's going to be okay. I'm not super energetic,
No.
but I'm here,
Yeah.
unlike some people.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's like I told guys when I worked at the chemical plant. 80% of this job is just showing up. It stands true.
So since you've got your coffee cup up, let me ask you a question.
Did you notice I stopped halfway knowing it was happening?
How's your week, buddy?
Honestly, man, not a whole lot going on. I got to hang out with the kids a good bit. They started school, all that jazz. So it's really
What grade they in?
second now.
Second grade.
Yeah, 3 separate teachers this year instead of all being
They all get their own personality and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, we did that last year. We split it up a little bit. 2 of them were in one class, one in the other. And this year they said they wanted to try that. And I think one of them is regretting that, and the other 2 are like enjoying it. So
Hallelujah.
yeah, but we shall see. I mean, we'll see what they want to do next year. That'll be the deciding factor for it. What's up with you? What's new and exciting?
It's been a week. Went back to the works early. Went back in on Monday instead of Tuesday, which was fine. Worked put a lot of tons through the mill this week. Still had some breakdowns, as the old girl does not care for running that much. But we got through it. And then starting on Friday, man, it was just crazy busy. Here's the thing. I knew all week long. On Friday, I had no relief at work, right?
Oh,
We're the last shift out. And I said, it's going to break down. Hopefully it doesn't break down and I don't get stuck here. because
Right.
our gig at Main Street Tavern in Munhall, they do market days, which is super cool, man. They shut down the whole Main Street, and there's like 3 blocks of local businesses that put out tents and like sell their fancy wares and food and all that happening stuff. So the show started at 5. I generally want at least an hour to set up, just because Murphy's Law.
Yep.
Today being a prime example. And yeah, for sure it broke down. And I was like, crap. So shout out to my buddy John Ebling for coming over from the warehouse and covering me so that I could get out, even
was able
though
to
my
get you
whole
out.
crew got stuck until like 5:30. They didn't get out of there till 5:30.
What time were you supposed to be done?
3.
Nice.
I by 5:30 I was already playing for half an hour.
Yeah.
So I got out there. I had to pack all my gear in my truck the night before and take it to work with me, change clothes in the locker room, get out there, set up, and go. It was a great show. It was a cool time, man. Definitely looking forward to doing it again next year. What was really cool is on one side of me, I had Main Street Tavern, which was serving beer and hot dogs and burgers and all that stuff. Of course, the full bar directly behind us. To my other side, there was a cigar lounge trailer.
Ashes to Ashes.
If that's the name of it, I don't remember, but yeah, probably.
Great.
He was in here and I met him.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah. He's a
He
good
was
dude.
super cool. So, like, unfortunately for me, that meant the end of my tent is right here where I'm sitting, and BGD is sitting on the back porch of this lounge right there. So he was like 2 feet away from me the whole time, which was fine. It was cool.
Yeah.
But seating was set up very well for if you wanted to smoke a cigar and watch some music. It was actually pretty awesome. So.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So that was Friday. Then I worked yesterday, came home, did the show notes for this lovely show you see that I'm prepared for. And then I went out to Leaning House last night to see Final Time 2 and hang with the Charleroi folks and drew a state event out there, which was super cool. And then came home, barely got a little bit of sleep, got up, packed up to come out here today, and
Rinse
here
and
we
repeat.
go.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot more going on this week than I did. But we should talk about.
I keep busy. Yeah.
We should. You want to?
Sorry, I messed up the format.
It's a,
I've got more responsibilities today.
there's a constant shift in the format as of late. So
There's a flow.
yeah, no Jason, no beer. So we're not doing that either.
No Jason, no beer. Let's find out what we are smoking.
Ooh.
It's time for the Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Just a Tip Cigars. Are you looking for the best selection of boutique cigars? Do you want the tried and true legacy brands that are synonymous with the cigar lifestyle? Do you want luxurious cutters, lighters, and other accessories? Do you want to relax in the most comfortable cigar lounge in the burg? Then you want Just the Tip Cigars. Conveniently located in the Bavarian Village Shopping Center in South Park, Pennsylvania, Just a Tip Cigars has been tailor-built to your smoking needs. Whether you visit in person or on the web at justatipcigars.com, when it comes to cigars, Just a Tip is the whole package.
Ooh, baby, the whole package. Speaking of which, you put it in the frame right at the right time. All right, strut, baby, strut. Today we are smoking. Man, this is a mouthful. The Roma Craft Cro-Magnon Aquatine Mandible Mastodon Ellie. I think that's the
Yeah.
full name. I don't know if they could have fit any more in there or not. Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah.
This is a 4.5 by 60. Fortunately, it is box press. It's like a perfect little square too.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's like, I don't know, it's between a box press and a soft box press. Like, I don't know which one to call it because it is square, but it doesn't have the hard corners of like a solid box.
Damn, no hardcore. Reminds me of, you ever see the Japanese square watermelons?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. That's what they should have just been like Tokyo watermelon. That's the size, you know.
You know what? And that's the company that would do it too. Now they kill me with their sizes. Like,
It's wild.
They have their own name for every size, and it's like, come on, pretty
And
please.
no defining characteristics other than that, because the bands are all the same.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the colors are all slightly different, but just close enough that you have no idea. What
Yeah,
you're grabbing.
it's at least it's not Padron level though.
The one good thing about them is that they are all good. So like when you want Aroma Craft, you could just go grab Aroma Craft,
Yeah.
and it's going to be Aroma Craft, and you're going to be happy. But there could also be a difference in price. you could think,
Yeah,
you
you
get this
can
and get that.
yeah,
because
most of their stuff is really approachable price wise
is
though.
reasonable.
Like the vast majority of it's right where you want it to be. But they, Romacraft I think is kind of broken up into two sides. You've got your core lines, which is your Aquitaine, your Neanderthal, and your Cro-Magnon, and then you've got the Intemperance series. So like they're two very different styles of cigars too. Like the Intemperance series is a lot more. I don't even want to say mild because it's not. It's not
it
more.
shouldn't be if it's not tempered.
But no, like the Whiskey Rebellion, it's a Brazilian Arapiraca. So like it's a bit more. It's still full body, but it doesn't have any bite to it, compared to something like these guys. So it's disconcerting if you think you're going to grab one of these and one of those and get something comparable. It's not going to be really even close to the same wheelhouse.
Fair enough. I think they should rename the whole line the Aquitaine Hunger Force.
I knew it was
name
coming.
All of them food shapes. So you got like the Tokyo watermelon and the Russian lemon. I don't know if it's I just put a food item.
I feel like, I don't know, you said Tokyo watermelon, which made me think of Tokyo Drift. And it's like we could do a whole series of cigars that could just be Fast and the Furious themed.
All right. There's only one theme. Family.
Fam. Come on, cigar fam.
I think I know somebody that could play Dom.
Yeah, you know a guy? Has a certain...
Anywho's, the rapper is Ecuadorian Habano Ligero / Connecticut. Why? Because there is an extra strip of the Connecticut at the end for that little flavor distinction,
Flavor.
which is, I believe, the difference between this and the core Aquitaine line. Is that
Yeah.
accurate?
Yes.
All right, cool. Our binder is going to be Cameroon, and the filler is Nicaraguan. So to essentially just repeat myself entirely, the Cro-Magnon Aquitaine Mandible Mastodon is a limited edition box-pressed version of the 4.5 by 60 Mandible Vitola, and it adds a small strip, a landing strip, as it were, of Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco to normal Ecuadorian Habano Ligero wrapper. It is limited to less than 500 boxes of total production, at least at the initial release of the cigar. I did not check to see if that was accurately up to date.
It sounds right. I'm not. I didn't get this on the initial pass through. I was able to wrangle a box after the launch of it had happened. Do you know what the launch date was on that? Did they
No
say
idea.
in there? I didn't know.
Yeah,
Maybe they included it.
Listen, man, you're lucky we got notes at all.
I just asked.
asked. No, I'm just telling you. With my work ethic, you're just lucky you get a piece of paper.
No, I mean, it's definitely more mild than the core Aquitaines, but I don't know if that's because of the blend change or because of the size. Because you do have a lot more filler in this than you normally
Two
would.
things could be true.
Yeah.
Somebody taught me that.
Yeah, you've heard it once or twice. No, it makes me wonder how much of it's from that, because that Ligero on the outside, like this is the cigar from Romacraft that tears me up the most. Like this is the one that I perceive as the highest strength most of the time. Where most people will say it's the Neanderthal or the Cro-Magnon. The Neanderthal, I find it to be sweeter, and the Cro-Magnon, I find it to be somewhere in between. Like it's a blend of the sweetness and the bite. This thing normally just hits hard, and today it's not nowhere near where it normally is. There's a lot of ends.
Approachable, maybe.
Yeah,
By
a lot
comparison.
more than standard Aquitaine.
I don't even remember retrohaling this cigar, but my nostrils do, because I feel like I was in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I retrohaled my monster. That's possible. But we'll give her
Yeah,
another stab.
you'll get there. No, it's. Even the retro on it's a little bit more chilled, than standard.
It's not super intense, but it also I've never used these two cigar terms together before, but there's a long finish on the retro.
Yeah.
It stays there for a little while. It doesn't just go away as soon as the smoke clears the nasal cavity. So I don't know if that's a thing or not. If it's not, I'll take credit for inventing it.
When I got up during the ad, it's because the coffee, I brewed it a little stronger this morning than I normally do. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a touch of cream because I felt like maybe that was what was giving me the turned down version of it. But even once I added the creamer to it, it hasn't pepped up. It hasn't, the perceived strength hasn't been any higher. So I don't want to say disappointed, but it wasn't what I was expecting. So I'm not, not having the experience.
The cigar?
The cigar.
Okay.
So yeah, I added cream to the coffee.
The coffee based on what you expected the cigar to be.
Exactly. I thought it was going to, I added, like an extra third to the grounds of what I normally do, wanting it to be strong enough to overcome the cigar. And it's not even, there's no competition. The coffee just washed right over it.
All right. Okay. I can see that. Yeah. I you know me, I'm not the king of flavor notes by any means at all, but definitely you're not going to call this mild.
No.
This just mild by comparison to the other one.
Yeah.
Sure. So I'd say so far, if you combine the normal draw plus the retro, I'm probably sitting at a 7.5 or an 8.
Yeah, I would say that. I would agree with that completely. That's pretty spot on. I want to say hello real quick. Chris Scales, what's up? They said they're on vacation. Where are you guys at?
Vacation.
And hello, Shannon Banks.
Good morning, dear.
Good
I don't know
morning.
why I flipped back to your camera.
I don't either. That was
did
interesting. It was maybe you just wanted
to add some confusion.
It wasn't that so much as the eye contact that really made it awkward. That's really where you kind of locked it in there.
So what's super awkward about doing the show with two people in this format with the camera switches is the cameras are like directly in between us and obstructing the view. And it's kind of intentional because we're trying to look at each other and look at you guys at the same time.
Hello there.
Because if you know anything about online POV videos, the best thing is the eye contact. You know what I mean?
Just
and
lock them in.
That's what the kids come in here for. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
There's a ponytail comment for you in there somewhere.
Oh. I don't have,
Not going there.
I don't have any tail anymore, no.
No? The suction cups are behind you.
Oh, yeah?
We're not doing that again, though. I don't believe.
That's the mythical Cory corn. That's a whole different animal of another color or another appendage, I suppose.
Yeah, it does allude to something else. I'll give you that. It's definitely there.
So you know what we haven't heard in a while? I will switch cameras. You can enjoy or not enjoy your coffee since your pairing's a little bit off. I missed the notebook, man. The stuff Sam heard at the shop notebook. That little segment came around one time.
Yeah.
And then I think you probably were like, it's probably better not to air all this weird stuff on the internets.
Well, it's not even that. I'm so calloused and acclimated to the conversations that like they don't cue as funny for me unless there's a bunch of people in here and like I hear them getting an uproar. But I'm like, that probably would have been a good one. But was it? And I never can, solidify the ones that are good. I need to just like write down all the randomness that occurs. There was, conversation in here yesterday that we're not going to go over that I was, okay, that one's that hit the too far meter. We know that one's too far. So stuff like that. But
you just have a light and a little button in your pocket for it, a little remote like the on-air light, just the too far.
Ding, too far.
Just
too
like
far.
the Pee Wee Herman secret word of the day button. Everything goes me.
Oh.
It's possible. So, one of the things that happened, another miscarriage of justice last night at the Leading House. Cory, just like Hunting, remains undefeated in losing the raffles.
Waffles?
The waffles. I'm here because they told me there was a waffle. But John Curcio, however, was not. He won twice.
Nice.
Won twice, yeah. So he won. The first thing he won, I was like, yeah, get that one out of the way because now I can win the good thing, was a Drew Estate birdhouse. Yeah.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Drew Estate birdhouse.
You got it. I like the fact that you even got to see him in the shot kind of pep up and go. Like he even had bird-like characteristics. So what?
It's an interesting idea, I guess. It looked like it had Temu Super Mario like painted on the sides of it. Like I'm not sure what was going on there. It was neat because he was like in that position where he's like punching the block up in the air. All I can say is I don't think there's going to be any hens in this birdhouse, but John might put something else in it.
How? I have so many questions.
The funniest thing is, it's the hole is really small, which is probably better for John. But the back door is huge because you could just open the whole thing up. So nice little,
a little bit. So
yeah.
So this is just like a little, birdhouse. We're not talking like he didn't. Oh, that's coming next. They're doing a chicken coop next.
There's gonna be some weird stuff
Yeah,
happening.
the way
over
that
there
Drew
at the
Estate
Curcio.
does it, they're gonna end up with chicken coop, and then they already have the barn smoker, so now they're gonna be giving away a barn.
I'm getting ready to get my tickets, and in walks Dave and Patty.
Yeah.
And I went, oh man,
Yep.
come on.
Yeah,
Can
now
I just
you're
get
not-
a shot once? You know what I mean? I just want an opportunity. They actually didn't win anything last night.
Really?
No, but the only time I've ever won anything there was whenever I put his name on it. So another miscarriage of justice. If you're keeping track, that's 2. Especially whenever I bought like 10 times the amount of tickets for myself, and I was like,
Still couldn't win.
I'll throw one in. There was like 1 ticket left, and I was like, I'll put Chichingo's name on it. I'm sure he'll have wanted a ticket, And of course, that's the one.
That's the one that hits.
That is the one, yeah. So John also won the mystery box, which was huge. It's a big box, and it had a lot of stuff in there. I can't remember what everything was, but there was like what we dubbed the tampon bag, like a little leather. What would you call that? Like a toiletry bag. Is
Okay.
what it looked like.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. There was like a travel humidor, I think, and a bunch of other stuff. And I was actually kind of even like, once I saw this stuff, I was like, yeah, I don't have any hurt feelings here,
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I got gypped too, because there was like a must be present to win situation where no one was announced on the one. So I might have maybe won a crystal ashtray, but I don't think so. But it could still happen. Dave.
Yeah. It could be true. No, that's cool. He was able to do the raffles and all that. I had a thought, and it's completely gone. Just I was mid-speech, and it just went away.
Well, if it helps, I'll just keep
Yeah,
everything
keep going.
on you.
Yeah, appreciate
and
that.
you can think about it.
Yeah.
And
It makes it easier that way,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just going to default to talking about the cigar. So
I thought you said you had a bot, which was going to be a way more interesting line of conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna-
like, let's go. Is this the, everybody gets to see it bot, or the it lives in my nightstand bot?
again,
Or
things
it
could be
like
true.
subscribes and shares bot.
yeah, we definitely don't
we
have
should
those.
look into those.
No, we definitely don't have those.
Our numbers are real.
Yeah, I did see we hit 800 today on the Junkies group.
Oh, did we
Yeah.
finally?
Yeah,
Dude,
We've
it's $7.98 every week, and I go to check, and there's always like 2 new names, but it's always still $7.98, and it's like somebody's just like getting kicked,
Yep.
creating a new name, coming back, getting kicked, creating a new name. What was super interesting is last week we went from $7.98 to $7.96.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, now we're at 800, so maybe we just
Now-
needed those 2 bad apples out of there to actually allow better growth.
Oh, now the fun thing is I have to look and see if there's actually new. There's 4.
Yeah.
There's 4 new members. Oh, okay. Well, 2 of those were from last night on the deck.
Nice.
From the friendly stalkers next to me for sure. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and hit it. Welcome
Yeah.
to the group. I got a couple here still on the page that I don't think I ever read. We got Charon Don. That's an interesting one. Wanderson Patterson. Can't even make this up. Camden Simon. Jason Day. Jesse Campbell. Melody Gazdick. Not making that up. And Rory Gazdick. Gazdick. Promise that's how it's spelled.
Yep, that's yeah. How did really Charon Don? It's got. I just want to know what
You
like
wanted
the.
to call me out on being wrong.
No, I
and you
want to
were
know.
like,
I want to
"That's
know what
it
the.
says."
I want to know what the intention was. Like,
I
what,
want to know why there's an extra capital, because the R in Charon is capitalized, and I think that's a mix of things. So it might be
that's
like it's very Roma craft.
yeah,
right?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
what is the intention of this? Why are we Charon? Sharon. I don't know. I'm gonna be stuck on this for a while. This is gonna hurt my soul.
I love how gigantic your hands are in the camera. Like,
Yeah.
the best part is you're resting them on the table in front of you, and if the
Oh.
camera angle was up a little bit, it'd cut them off, and I could adjust it. But I love
You're enjoying
how
it too much?
comically huge they are.
So keep them back here.
Look like a cartoon gorilla. You know, they always start real skinny up here and just
Oh,
get
yeah,
bigger as it goes down the arm. Yeah.
Oh,
So why the early start today? What's up with that?
Liberty Pole with apostate.
Liberty Pool, where you can check your Oh,
No, yeah, close though.
well, I mean, Evan's going to be
Yeah.
there, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's included service.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
just goes with it. Yeah, Evan will be down there playing, apostate, myself, and then Liberty Pool's fine spirits. So disappointed and happy at the same time. I look forward to this one, but at the same point, I know I've only got one more at Liberty Pool left, which is next month, and then they start coming back here. But I like my little adventures, my little expeditions, as it were.
I mean, you could still expedite in
What-
colder weather. Just get a parka or something.
Yeah, it's the whole people don't really want to stand outside in the snow.
There ain't no indoor places you could go to. I guess not, because if it's a cigar joint, you're not welcome there.
Correct.
At least not with your own wares.
Yeah, if it's ready to go, then it's not ready to go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I imagine that would create some conundrums.
Yeah, it could be a bit.
This
cumbersome.
is a super weird time for me too. Like, I am with you. Like, the worst thing about right now is getting up to go to work in the morning and needing that hoodie and going, oh no, we're doing the 35-degree temperature swing days again.
Yep.
And it lets you know what's coming.
You know what? I just enjoy the morning.
Yeah.
I love that. I like that 55 degree, 60 degree
Yeah.
in the morning. That's perfect. That makes me happy. It puts me in a good mood to start off that way.
It's always a little bit sad when you know summer's going away, but I do have things I'm looking forward to. Like, clearly, I've got the Tree Boy Mansion, so I'm excited about getting up the hunting season. I always confuse them. It's Labor Day coming up, right?
Yes.
So that's something we're going to have to talk about, because we might have to skip that show,
All right.
because I'm going to camp and we got too much. There's just no way. So we're probably going to have to postpone that show or rearrange it. But I'm thinking, under the circumstances, as busy as we both are these days, it's probably the easiest play is just going to be like, we'll get you guys next Sunday.
Yeah,
We'll
I mean,
figure it out. and let
we
you
have to
guys know.
decide it now because it's next
I
week.
brought it up.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, well, you're
I-
saying
I
we got to
remember
discuss it. And I'm
this.
like, wait, no, that's next Sunday.
It
so.
is, yeah. So, but yeah, we're going up to camp, doing some stuff with the tree stands. I'm going to finalize some touches on mine, see if we're going to move the old tree stand for one of the other boys. So it's going to be a lot of dragging stuff through the woods kind of day.
Yeah.
But I am excited about hunting season. I'm going to be going up to camp, doing all those get your last summer activities in and prepping for fall at the same time. And then in addition to that, so I do have, Shrum Junkies have a September show. I think it's the 23rd. I'm going to pull up my little handy-dandy calendar in the corner here while I verify that. But it's, no, I misspoke. September 21st, we're going to be at a really cool bar over in Crafton called The Circle Inn. And that'll be a Nick and I only show. But it's time to start prepping for the Leaning House Halloween party. And that should be interesting, because that'll be the first time the Shrum Junkies has ever been a 4-piece band.
Oh.
Yeah, because we got Louis drumming, and we got Tim playing bass, and then me and Nick. That's assuming they come, because, they were supposed to play with us this past weekend and bailed. So.
Yeah. Didn't go so well either.
So that means now I got to schlep my stuff back and forth between here and Louis' place every other week to practice with them.
Yep.
Probably do some practices just with Nick for our upcoming show. So it's like all over the place. Plus,
Yeah.
I've been practicing solo stuff too.
You bringing up the 21st actually reminds me we're doing Italian days down in Washington, which I committed to a couple months ago. And then I found out South Park's community days is also the 21st.
All right.
So I'm trying to figure out the logistics of like, all right, can I get Jason down at South Park or can I get Brittany? What do I need? Registers and cigars for all of it? And man, just trying to figure out if I can do all of the above and keep the shop open at the same time has been less than pleasant.
You guys just do your things. Give me the keys to the shop.
You're good to go, huh?
There'll be some cigars here when you come back.
One or two.
I don't commit to a number, but there will be some. Like
Yeah.
probably the one in the knight's hand behind you.
You
will
said
still be
some, so
there.
that's plural. That's at least leaning
Well,
towards
that's
the
one.
positive.
All I need is one more.
Flavored cabinet doesn't
okay.
count either. So,
There you go. Dude,
No,
there'll be a
no.
lot of cigars. Yeah. You know I ain't touching that cabinet.
and then September 20th, I've got we made the top 3 again for Best of Pittsburgh. We don't know who the winner is yet, but we know we made the top 3, which boggled my mind because we missed out on 5 weeks of voting.
Oh, yeah?
Because our link was messed up. So
I
Mike,
did vote.
I appreciate that about you. But yeah, we're going to be down there trying to orchestrate everything, get Jason and his wife down there so that we can all kind of enjoy the fruits of the labor. So
There you go.
Das is
Gotta
good,
get your
but-
hippie clothes on.
it's not hippie this year. It's
Oh, was that the theme last year?
yeah, that was the theme.
All right.
What is it this year? We've been making fun of it, calling it Razzle Dazzle, but I can't remember what it is. But it's
Fairy dust?
I think it's just like a chic, I haven't really. I told my wife, I'm like, tell me what we're gonna wear to this one, and I'm just generally staying out of it. But tickets are open to public, so if anybody wants to join in, grab your ticket. September 20th at Stage AE. They got bands, food, ton of vendors, stuff like that down there. So it's a good time.
I think when Eric comes in here, he should get his own special ashtray. And I think all the ashes from his ashtray should be stored in like a coffee can with a label on it that says fairy dust.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not. What am I gonna say?
I love Eric. He's such a good sport. And he's like out there trying to pitch the GoFundMe for Jason to get a car. I think that would have to at least come second to the prosthetic toe collection we've got for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The toe thing is just boggles my mind. What's up, Mikey Kazora? Did you already welcome him?
I didn't know he's here.
Okay. Well,
Hey, Stephanie Yagatich may or may not be here. That could have been on accident.
okay.
I don't know. But it says she's here. I don't know if she's still here. Stephanie's she works at the bottle shop, and she's the one that plans the events for Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
Where we had a great time where I did the solo show a couple weeks ago. Got to talk to some of those vendors and getting them over here for an event because, man, they're all just so cool. And I imagine the ice cream would have been good if I had time to get it. But
Yeah.
food, oh, my
That-
God, was that food amazing.
Well, your family
Beer
thanks
was
you for
great.
not getting that ice cream. So, no, that's one thing I look forward to next year is being able to do more events. Now that I have Jason on board, and I can actually forecast more events and be busier and meet more vendors and more people like that. That'll help build, fill out through like the fall and the winter when we're doing all the events here. I've had people ask me about that. Like, we don't do during the summer. I don't do events up here because we're out and about. We're bouncing around, and summertime everybody's out and about doing different stuff. But come wintertime, it'll be a lot of events at the shop. So makes it, I don't know, more funds.
The only thing, all right, here's the dreaded window into Corey's brain. Here's the train and the track that I'm on now. All I want is a big event called the Intense Event because everybody's got their tent set up.
Yeah.
It'd actually be a good, like if I was selling canopies, like that's what I'd be calling them, Intense Event.
No,
Yeah, brain freeze.
Yeah, the dad jokes are strong with this one today. It's you want to go ahead and knock out some of the news while I recaffeinate?
Dude, you got a lot of getting up today. I don't know how that happens. Like
2 times.
I do all this
Twice.
extra stuff, and you go take a little friendly stroll all the time.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me none.
Yeah, it's okay. I got some news. Who said I didn't? First thing on the block, Viaje Cigars is shipping its 6th installment of its craft series Roots. The cigar brings Viaje back to the first factory it started with, Joya de Nicaragua. The Viaje Craft Series Roots blend features an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and combination of filler tobaccos from Nicaragua, Brazil, and the United States. It comes in one size, a 6x52 Toro. Each cigar is wrapped in foil and packaged in 10-count boxes, pricing set at $11. The Joya de Nicaragua factory is located in Esteli. The Craft Series is a line that draws inspiration from the craft beer business. According to Viaje, each release will incorporate some of the best tobacco from chosen factories. You would hope so. If they didn't, I don't think they would put that in their like press announcement of being like, "Oh no, we got like the mediocreest tobacco from every place we could." I don't think that's how they were going to do it. In June, Southern Draws informed retailers about Decennium, a cigar.
That's what I'd go with.
Maybe. It could also be. Decennium doesn't roll off of.
Nah.
It's like Diamondylium versus Diamondium from Futurama. No.
Oh, yeah.
It is a cigar meant to commemorate the company's 10th anniversary. While the company is known to make its brands out of the A.J. Fernandez factory, this is different in that it's made at El Titan de Bronze in Miami, Florida. Decennium will now have a ship and release date of August 28, 24. The name Decennium is Latin for decade. A little on the nose, if you ask me.
I like it.
I would have went with Diamondylium. The blend features Brazilian Arapiraca, known as the Green Gold, in the municipality that produces the cigar. Wrapper over Dominican Criollo 98 binder and all Nicaraguan fillers. Being released in one size of 6x46 Lonsdale. There you go. Now you got my attention.
Yep.
It's being sold in 3-packs with pricing at $15 per cigar. Why would they give you the pricing of the cigar if they're sold in 3-packs?
Yeah, if
Does
somebody
that
wants to
mean
bring-
like your minimum buy-in's 15 to get 3, or does that mean that you're at 45 to get 3?
I don't know.
Probably 15 each.
Makes it sound cheaper.
Yeah. A total of 5,000 3-packs have been produced. That's such a weird way to sell them, 3-packs.
Yeah. Like, there's a sweet spot in that $45 to $50 range, though. So,
Perhaps, but like, can't just get a single? You know what I mean? Drew Estate has announced that its Deadwood Sweet Jane Dia Los Muertos is making a return. The cigar pays homage to the Day of the Dead celebration, which takes place on November 1st. The Sweet Jane will make its return in September. The announcement was made on Drew Estate's August 21st Freestyle Live show, and information was communicated to retailers. Deadwood Sweet Jane Dia Los Muertos made its debut back in 2019. It is a 6x50 box press Toro. The cigars come in 20-count boxes, and the price is $12 MSRP. The original was an exclusive at 2 Drew Estate lounges. Drew Estate says that it will be a widespread release, but it is being released as a limited edition. So there's also some upgraded packaging on that. Also announced during the Freestyle Live, they said the 7th Freestyle Live Mystery Cigar comes packaged in a kit with 3 pre-release cigars, a cutter, ashtray, and lighter. This time, Drew Estate revealed it would be a Deadwood brand cigar, but has not yet announced specifics on what the cigar is named.
yeah. Those Dia de los Muertos, those were sold out in less than 24 hours.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I got the email on it, put it on my list of stuff to do, and got an email the next morning saying, never mind. Like, oh, okay.
You had me at Muertos and you lost me at Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to love how it can work out those fun ways. Dougie Doug just said that they are, he's wanted us to point out the Hoff Picnic is September 7th as well.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We got the House of Feruza yearly pig roast, is I think what they call it. But yeah, maybe it's just picnic now. Because that's one of the disappointing things. They have roasted pig items there. However, there's not like the cool little pig spinning around.
Oh, you don't have the backdrop of.
All I want is a pig with an apple in its mouth. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I dig
I
it.
don't get to see it, but I think I usually do that like the last Sunday of August. So this time, first weekend of September, I guess. But that's a cool event, dude. They do raffles for your entry. You get to go hang out, check out the members only lounge. They've got music in the parking lot. Last year they had vendors from Eek Creature Coffee. They had Hutch out there talking about firearm training and stuff. He had like one of those test guns, like a not a real gun, but like a pretendy shooty gun. So it was pretty neat. I had a great time. So looking forward to doing that one again. I think I'm going to have to go after work. I think I start at 2 o'clock.
What day of the week is that?
I think it's a Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I was sad because you guys did the show from there last year. I had just opened, so there was no way I could break
like
off.
I said, I think it was used to be like the last Sunday of August.
Yeah.
So now apparently first Saturday of September.
It makes sense.
I'll take it.
Instead of competing with Labor Day festivities.
Yeah.
So, good. Okay, now I can't unsee the giant hands thing. I just reached my water bottle and was like, holy cow. Appreciate you ruining that for me. That's nice. Now I'm distractimated.
Well, you know what they say about big hands. They make things look small.
Oh, yeah. Well, so how's the cigar treating you?
Cigar's been a fantastic experience. I'm a little off kilter on the burn, but it's going to self-correct. One of the things that you just kind of have to deal with sometimes on a box press.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of a stagger there, but you could tell that's going to clean up. It's Roma Craft. It smokes great. The draw is incredible. The box press makes the 60 ring gauge way more approachable, which I appreciate about it. And, of course, it's packed solid, even though it draws fantastic. So not burning super fast either. You get some time out of these guys.
Yeah, I have to explain that to a lot of customers when I'm recommending a Roma Craft. And they're like, I want something bigger. I'm like, I understand that, but, so does my wife. But no, their Robusto burns as long as a Toro most of the time. Like, I don't know what they do different. I don't understand the processes. I don't pretend to. But what are we doing? Hello. Hi. And just the hands distracting you too much now, too?
No, I did it for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But no, it's consistent across all their line or all their different cigars that they burn longer, but you don't see Roma Craft Toros. Like, they don't have a 6x50. I think they have before, but it's not common for them at all. So, and it's wild because they do draw perfect, but the easiest way I found is to hand somebody the Roma Craft, like the Neanderthal HN, hand them that, and then hand them the cigar that, one of the ones that they're already leaning towards, that's a Toro or a Gordo even, and be like, all right, you can feel the weight difference in it. Seneca commented, I hooked him up with one of the Clovis, and man, those things are just phenomenal. That's the first cigar that I got a box in, and I was just like, no, these are going home. I can't sell them. I want them. They're mine.
Man, customer comes first.
And I sold 2 boxes of them here.
All right.
So if you were able to catch those, I didn't know this box was even coming. I looked at my invoice. And I'm like, oh, we got more. And then it got here and I smoked one. I'm like, we don't have more. I have more. There's a big difference on that one. That cigar is just, man, it hits perfect. The PA broadleaf in it and the Candela just work magically together.
Sounds delightful. I wish I had the opportunity to buy one.
I gave you one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the barber pole. I pulled it from behind the counter because I pulled 5 of them out to give you, Jason, Brian, Seneca, and myself.
Sounds like something I'd do. Forget about things.
Yeah.
I'll say this about the cigar and where I am at. First of all, cleaned up perfectly, as I stated it would. It's calmed down a little bit now that I'm around halfway. I'm not sure if I'm at halfway, maybe, but pretty close. But it's tempered off a bit. Not significantly. It's just a little bit smoother. But I would call this still probably a 7. Maybe lost half a point. Flavor's great. Just I don't look at cigars and go like this taste, that taste, this taste. It's just about the experience for me, and this just really hits it for me. It's not like this is not a cigar you're going to do while you're doing something else. The cigar is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that because there are some cigars that I grab for those purposes, but when you grab a cigar that you're really like, I really need this one,
Yeah.
and it kind of under delivers for you, it could be disappointing. This is not that, man. Like, this cigar lets you know it's there. Great smoke production, very good flavor, very good whole mouth feel. Retro's good, but not overwhelming, but also still adds something to it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's. Is there, and I'm not quite, because I didn't have the same experience. Nice. Go ahead, read it, because it was worth it.
Shaded says you could crack a lobster with those meat paws, LLL. Reminds me of the Seinfeld episode Man Hands.
Nah, I never saw it.
Little dainty blonde woman, but they always do like a close-up of her hands because it's actually a man's hand swapped in. And so she just takes this whole lobster and cracks it in half. And Jerry's having trouble opening his beer, and so she grabs it and opens it, and he goes, "That wasn't a twist off."
No, with what you were saying about the cigar, is there any chance that it calmed down because you didn't get any of the wrapper for a while, and then you got just that wrapper for, you know what I mean? Like, because it burnt wonky, because I'm not having the same experience.
No.
Mine's kind of stayed the same the whole way through.
Like I said, I mean, it may be based on how aggressively I'm smoking it. It's probably because of the fact that I'm talking more and smoking a little bit less. So it's probably just not, the heat's not there to cook it up. You know what I mean? But no, like I said, I was only talking about like a half a point.
Yeah.
And I do feel like I'm getting a consistent burn on it. I think it's probably just about how many draws I'm taking per minute. You know what I mean?
No, that makes perfect sense. Oh, I was pretty excited. Yesterday, Britt actually smoked her first cigar.
Real one?
Yep. Yeah, we did the
What was
Zeno.
it? Oh, yeah?
And
That's not a thing to get excited about. Like, all these dudes that are trying to get their wives into cigars, that doesn't hit for me. I don't get it. Because I'm like, I can enjoy a cigar and my wife at the same time. That didn't sound good. But they're not cheap, man.
with the wife or the cigar?
Right? Two things could be true. And I don't need to double our household cigar smoking.
Yeah, we have a little unique of a situation where it makes
you have plenty of inventory.
Yeah, well, it's not even inventory. It's, the more, if she smokes them, then she's more knowledgeable, and,
That's
she
true.
covers the shop. So
That is true.
but
Don't get high on your own supply.
she was smoking that, and I was smoking the Ozinger, and I can't think of the name of it. It's the newer one, the Boz something. I have it written down. Anyways, and I was like, here, now you've got that, and I'll try this. This is what I'm talking about, like with spice and pepper. And she's like, oh, I like that one better. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she said the Zeno was like, you used to smoke cigarettes, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So what'd you smoke?
Marlboro Red 100s. Cowboy Killers.
Same thing we did.
Yeah.
You know that feeling when you're out of smokes and somebody's like, oh, here, have a Marlboro Light. And you're like, okay. So
Yeah.
you smoke it, and it does what it needs to do, but you just don't get that
Yeah.
fulfillment from it because it's just too light. That's how she described that Zeno. She's like, it's just there. She's like, it didn't meet the need at all. And she smokes cigarettes. She drinks black tea. Like, it makes sense. Like, she falls into everything we've talked about on here as far as finding somebody the right cigar. But still, for a first cigar, still start with a light one. Don't jump somebody to one of these. This would be rude. I had that Ozinger in Petite Corona. That thing was a banger. I mean, it was completely different than the original.
I think you got a new nickname.
What's that?
Meat Paws.
Meat Paws?
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
Yeah, Chris is rolling in her in her hammock.
She's
Wherever
having
she
too much
is.
fun. The Blue Ridge Mountains, she said, by the way. They did respond.
Where's that at?
Virginia.
Okay. So he went home.
Wrong side of the state. Other side.
Still a state, you know what I mean?
I mean, like, over here and over here can be, like, yeah. Is Philadelphia home for you?
All right, shut up.
All right. That's just throwing it out there.
That coffee must be working, by the way, because I look forward to potentially grabbing a couple of screenshots of you at the beginning and
Verse now?
in the
Yeah.
show, because your eyeballs have been wide open when you're talking.
Yeah.
And maybe just because you're excited that Brittany liked a cigar.
That definitely helped.
that black mud that you're drinking out of the old ceramic
Yeah, and
cup there might be doing its job. You know?
I added my little black tar shilajit to it, which, yay, that's the best part of my morning.
Make the house your home for premium coffee.
Yeah, right? Oh, have you tried that coffee I gave you yet?
The twin engine or
yeah.
the other one?
The twin engines I gave you. That
I had twin engine way before you ever.
not
opened
that
the
not
shop.
that blend is what I meant.
really?
Yeah,
It's
a
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been drinking the old twin engine because you gave me the ground stuff too, which I got to remember to give to Shannon. It was like like a quarter of a thing. I feel like it didn't work.
Trying to
with
think which one
filters
it
or
was.
something. I don't remember.
Oh, it was that Firehouse one, that cherry one.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was just
Yeah, but I've always loved twin engine. Yeah. The only other coffee that I've ever liked even remotely as close to twin engine is Death Wish.
Yeah.
And I don't have to clutch my chest after drinking it, so it's a nice.
it's a win-win.
Yeah.
There's a place down in Washington. I can't think of the name of it right now. But his coffee's fantastic as well.
Washington.
It's not Monday. Monday's the brewery.
Tuesday. Wednesday.
I'll think of it as soon as the
Thursday.
show ends.
Friday.
All right, Dougie Doug,
Saturday.
we will catch you later, buddy.
See you, Dougie. Not hanging out for the whole show. I guess it's not as good this week. We haven't talked about any movies.
Yeah, we've actually stayed on subject. It's been weird.
Relatively so.
Yeah. Well, since we don't have beer here, can you think of a beer that you like of the beers that we've tried on the show? Because you really kind of stick with your lagers
If you're
normally.
expecting me to remember a beer, you're in trouble.
Well, you
'Cause
remember
I don't
that
remember any names of anything. They were all
just
just
the IPAs or not the IPAs. How about that?
No.
We did what we do. We did Raging Bitch.
I picked that one.
Yeah.
Because of the name.
Because of the name. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah. No, that one I didn't know. Like, I think an IPA does go really well with something like this. This one's just a little bit, again, back on that mild side for an IPA. I don't think it would hold up to it well.
Yeah.
Where you get into, the original version of this is going to be more suited for an IPA. No.
Got to hang out with Dougie briefly the other day at HOF. I went sometime earlier in the week. I was at it was like Monday or Tuesday because I was on daylight, so it was cool to go over, hang out, see Dougie and Evan play.
Nice.
Get my butt kicked in pool. You know what's great about playing pool with Evan? Because Doug is consistently incredible at pool.
Okay.
And Evan is like one of the best pool players you'll ever see in your life. But he plays down to his opponent. He can't help it. He doesn't do it intentionally. But if you put him up against another incredible pool player, like he won't miss a single shot. But playing against me, he makes the incredible shots and flubs the easy ones.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just great going like, man, my juju's getting to you and pulling you down.
That's how my buddy was at darts.
Yeah.
He just, every single time, knock out what he needs to if he's playing somebody good. If not, he'd just drag the game out forever.
We got a dartboard set up in the smoke shack up at camp now, and me and my son were playing, and we lose a lot of darts. But the great thing is, it's like a carport with walls on it, right? But it's
Yeah.
like not canvas, but it's like like a tent wall, and there are a lot of little bits of sunlight shining
Little
through that
little
bad
spots
boy.
coming out.
Lots of sunlight coming through the back. It's going to be pretty cool at some point. We'll put a spotlight out there at night.
Starry
It'll
night.
look like a star backdrop on that wall.
Nah, it'd be.
You know what I hate about it is, though, I mean, it's a soft tip dartboard, right?
Yeah.
Still puts the holes in the wall. And the other thing is, like, you throw them darts 2 times with brand new tips, and the tips are all mangled.
Yeah, they bend up. That's why I insisted on doing hard, like, real darts here. Because
So for the people out there that have more experience with bar games than me, is there like a tip that you could buy that's like somewhere in between? It's not going to get jacked up every time you throw them, but won't destroy everything. I imagine if they did like a metal soft tip, like a non-pointed metal tip, you'd end up with trouble getting it out of the board.
yeah, it would end up sinking too much.
Yeah.
We when I had in my garage at the old house, we had dartboard set up and we had a whole hangout area. My cousin came over and he's, I don't know, probably 10 years younger than me. And he'd never played darts before. I'm like, how? Yeah, let's go. And he's probably 21, 22 at the time. And we're throwing darts, and he's, like anybody, right? He's all over the place. He's trying to figure it out. And I think it was like the third dart he threw. He just did one of these and whipped it. And I mean, it was all wrist, and that sucker flew, and it buried it right into the mortar joint on the brick wall. And I sold the house with it in there because I couldn't get it back out.
Funny.
I was like, you got to be kidding. Like that's substantial. That was, and it
We
wasn't.
shall call it Excalibur.
Yeah. So we left that guy in there.
That's funny.
Nah, I always loved darts. The only problem with it here is I put it in the back, so I never get to play.
Right.
Like originally,
A lot of people don't even know it's there.
yeah,
And you've got your special darts too.
I know. They don't come out often, but they do get bust out. They probably get used about once a week though.
Oh, yeah?
They do get used. Actually, originally in the first design of the shop, the dartboard was going to be right here
Oh yeah.
because there was going to be lockers down this wall.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
humidor
that
was going to
little
be
lane.
out here, and then that was going to be the lounge side. And then it was just going to have like a little walk-in where you had darts and lockers up against the humidor. And then I'm really glad we didn't go with that layout. The longer we're here, the happier I am with that decision. There's others that I'm like, I could have done
There's
better.
enough damage to the drywall as it is.
Yes.
Speaking of which, any plans for the 1 year? You gonna put another coat of paint down or anything?
We've repainted
Really?
a significant amount already.
No kid.
Oh yeah. There's certain spots that have taken quite a beating in here, but yeah,
There's ones that like I don't even understand how you ended up with that spot up there. You know what I mean?
that was a piece of tape. The one up way up there. That was it was supposed to be a substitute. You remember Blue Tack from in school, like the
Sure.
blue. That tape was supposed to be just like Blue Tack, but stronger. Yeah, well, it was a lot stronger. I mean, it took because there's 4 coats I think on the walls here.
Maybe the
of
guy that
orange.
painted it just didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, that's chances are. Dude, I'm terrible at painting.
Me too, man.
It's
Don't
painting, putty. Like I just don't have the touch for it at all.
No.
Like I'll build you the whole thing, but don't ask me to dress it up when it's done.
That's fair.
But which gets me because like trim and stuff like that. Like I'm meticulous on that. I'm good at that side of it. But
You heard it here.
Yeah.
Sam's good at trim. I think it was an old timey slang.
okay, I was like, I'm not getting it. So
Yeah. Get some trim.
oh yeah, okay. All right, you've said worse things.
Yeah. Oh, many things worse. Yeah. You're gonna wear that coffee cup out today, buddy.
Oh yeah. No, it was a very long night.
Yeah.
It's been
Good for you.
no, not that kind of not a fun long night, just a long night. The kids got new mattresses, so none of them were comfortable yet. Yeah, that's
Kids, they don't need to be comfortable. They can fall asleep anywhere.
they fell asleep. It's staying asleep that was the problem.
Yeah.
So they got they went from kid mattresses, which little 4-inch mattresses that whatever. We got them actual like 12-inch mattresses. Well, the boy on his bunk bed, we're gonna have to reassess this because like now the rail's only this high because the mattress fills it up. And then the one dog that we adopted from my brother-in-law when he deployed.
Buy a mattress for the dog?
No, she always sleeps in bed with my daughter, and it keeps it's my daughter's calming, right? Like she pets the dog all night while she's sleeping. Her arm's on this dog. Well, the dog's 14 or 15 years old. She can't jump up on the bed, and this is a 70-pound dog. This isn't like a little
Sounds
dog.
like your daughter's not going to be sleeping good for very long.
Yeah. It's not the greatest, but
Yeah.
but
Maybe the emotional therapy dog should be one that's a little shorter in the tooth.
yeah, that's actually we were just talking about that yesterday. All of our dogs are starting to get up there. Tallulah's 12 now, Millie's 11, and then Helen, which just got her 6 months ago, she's 14. Like I said, 14 or 15. So they're all getting up there. So but she started talking about getting the new dogs so that it can get trained by I'm like, I'm not doing 3 dogs anymore. Like
Yeah.
I'm done.
We've
being
had similar conversations.
Yeah.
No new tricks at your house.
No.
Summer, man, she's
She's such a good dog. Oh, what was up with her paw? Just good the next day?
Yeah, she just stepped on a beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all it was. No, she's the sweetest dog to humans, and she gets along well with like all dogs. That being said, she's incredibly selfish. Like,
Yep.
it's her water, it's her food, it's her treat, it's her bone, it's her toy, which is incredible because she's horrible at tug of war. So, like, she gives up. Like, you know, she wants everything first, but she can't hold on to, the rope. But, like, if another dog comes over to you, Summer needs to be between you and that dog because the attention is for Summer, not for the other dogs.
That's how Millie is. It's obnoxious.
And she's not aggressive about it.
She's just
she's
in there.
just passive aggressive. She's like, nope, my human. Oh, you want to touch that human? No, that's my human too. They're all my humans.
Yep.
The water is all my water. Like, we've filled up like a gallon water bowl 3 times, and she's emptied it 3 times just trying to put enough water in it for like another dog to get some water.
Oh, wow.
And
She's
Summer
that kind
will-
of...
Yeah, she
Whoa.
will drain the bowl because it's all for her.
Just to ensure that
Sweet.
nobody else gets it.
Yeah, sweet. Other than that, man, she's just like very, very greedy. And beyond that, too, you know, just the emotional harm that it would come. You know, she's got all that attachment, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
at
the
this
attention's
point-
all her right now.
Right. You don't want to go like, okay, like it would be great for a buddy and for her to have an impact on the other one, but we also do not have a 2-dog house.
No, you guys
we
definitely
have
don't.
like a 1 medium cat house, and we've already got a very large dog in it. So
Yes, a rambunctious large dog.
she is the oldest puppy you will ever meet.
Yeah, dude. She's so happy. And the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 times I saw her. Did you guys like finally solve the jumping thing? Because she hasn't tried to jump up on me at all.
Well, that's because you're not in the house.
Oh,
At home, she jumps like places that she feels like is home. So camp, anywhere that she feels like comfortable enough. So it's like, especially if she's on a leash, she doesn't really like. We're out in the park. She doesn't bother other people. She doesn't even go up to other people. If other people come up to her, she'll let them pet her, and she's very wonderful. You take her to Home Depot, same thing. You know what I mean? She's very outside of the house. She's just chill. Like,
Yeah.
come pet me, cool, whatever, no problem. But whenever you're in a place that she considers home, she just goes wild.
yeah. She's great, and it's. Did you have a dog when you guys got Summer? I don't remember the story on it.
No. Summer was okay, like, we'd gone back and forth about getting a dog for years. We had a cat, and it was, you know, one of us wanted a dog and the other one didn't. And we would flip positions constantly. And so I finally was like, you know what, this is the time to do it. The kids were like the right age. You figure Summer's going to be 7, so Kieran was 11, Aaron was 9. And so we go, like, now's the time. Like,
Yeah.
we should do it now. And I wanted to do it for them as a Christmas present. And so Shannon had been, like, really pushing me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. And she flipped again. And she's like, I don't know. She let other people talk her out of it. And I'm like, you see the other idiots that do it. She's like, just thought it was going to be too much. And finally I was like, this is it. We're get a dog now.
Yeah.
Or don't ever bring it up again. It was like the Blackstone.
Yeah, this is it. Like, it's happening or it's
Right.
not happening.
Right. And, you know, it's funny because I had to, like, tell her, no, we're doing this. I had to push her into it. And that dog will forever hold a big part of Shannon's soul.
Yeah, that's those two.
They're peas and carrots.
I see them together more than I see them separated.
And Shannon didn't even want to go anywhere if the dog can't come.
Yeah.
You know, and I get it. You know, and that it's funny because you know Shannon walks her the most, right? And sometimes I get a little shade thrown my way because of that, and it's like we got the dog to walk you, not the other way around. we got the dog because nobody else in the house wants to walk as much as you do. We needed to get somebody to give us a break.
So that we didn't have to go.
Yes.
No, I get it, and that's our big debate is, these dogs, they're going to time out, we'll say, around the time the kids get 10, turn 10. And it's one of those all right, do we get another dog at that point? Because that's when sports go crazy and activities go nuts. And it's is it fair to another dog to do that? Or do we started those conversations, and I'm like, it's not fun.
Yeah, I have a real hard time thinking that Summer will be the last dog that we ever have. But with that being said, at this point, since we didn't double up early enough, I would have wanted to do it when she was 3 or 4. Now that we haven't, I don't want to do it and give ourselves a break in between, because first of all, it's going to be hard, and maybe another dog would help with that. But at the same time, too, we'll catch a break from okay, we want to go do this. We need somebody to watch the dog.
Yeah.
We'll wait until Kieran gets out and established in the world on her own. One of the kids do, and then we go, okay, you're dog sitter. If we go.
Yeah, now you have somebody that you can depend on for it.
Right. And we've got some family members that are cool for that, but at the same time, it's if you're going to go through that experience, then you may as well take the break and go okay, let's not have to worry about that for a little while.
And I'm not even going to lie, a large part of the consideration is I really don't ever want to deal with putting another dog down, having another dog go. That's the last one. Now that was the last of that was my dog. He was my best friend. So I broke down for that one.
Sure.
I had an appointment with a guy to come give me a quote on the floor for here, and I had to take him in the morning to go get put down. And the guy's texting me, hey, give me a call. He's calling me and texting me hey, give me a call, all this. I end up texting my dad. I'm like, hey, I need you to call this guy. Here's what's going on. My dad's like, what's up? I couldn't talk on the phone. I sat at the vet for an hour and a half just composing myself to drive. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. Speaking of the big guy, I haven't seen him in a long time.
Actually, yesterday he called me. I was on my way here. We had some running around to do. Britt covered the shop most of the day yesterday. And we were on our way here to drop off lunch for her, and then we were going to start running around. He met us here. He ended up just taking the kids for 4 or 5 hours over to my grandma's, so I ended up hanging out with Britt here for a while. And but, yeah, it was nice to actually get to hang out with him for a little bit, because we hung out, cleaned up upstairs a little bit for an hour, just playing with the kids, cleaned up, just had them move stuff around while we BS'd. And then they left and went and put shelves in, and what all did they do yesterday? I don't know. They told me. I should probably remember those things. They had a whole laundry list of things at my grandma's house that they were doing. So she's getting up there, so getting them at any time with her too is good.
Yeah, for sure.
I felt bad because I'm sitting here with Britt, and I'm like, I should probably go over to grandma's too. And she's like, yeah, you should. And then we just kept, because we don't get to see each other, so it was it felt like date night just hanging out here at the shop, because we were cohabitating a space.
Yeah.
So, what are your final thoughts on this guy? Because I'm running down to the end here.
You getting there? See, that's misleading though. I think we're about
That's
the same
true.
spot, and we're probably just hitting the last third.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
You're not thinking about, you've got some time left on this.
Yeah.
We're at an hour 10. You got stuff to do today. That's fine. We could wrap whenever we need to wrap. With that being said, the cigar isn't necessarily there yet. The cigar could go for another 20 minutes, and we'd be fine.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's at least 20 minutes, because, honestly, it was only a 4.5 cigar to start. So, we're really, just starting the final third of it.
Sure. And it's heating back up on me again a little bit. Still a long finish on the retro. Not super intense. It just has a tendency to sit there for you and let you know you were there, But
I'm getting something different on the retro now, which is like eucalyptus tickles your nose when you smell it, or
let's say I do.
Like menthol or eucalyptus,
Yes.
I'm getting
like a Vicks.
Yeah, but I'm just very mildly, I'm getting a refreshing essence to it on the retro that I never got from it before.
effervescence.
Effervescent.
Effervescence.
He's
Corey
just all
tickles my
full of some smack talk today, isn't he?
Yeah, Ryan Seneca says that I tickle his nose when he smells me. It's my fault. I should keep the pubes shorter. You know.
It happens. Yeah. You'll have those moments.
Yeah. Hey, you know,
with his little.
it's like an upside down mullet.
I'm out. Done. I lose. There's nowhere I can go with that. There's nothing that without destroying and just shattering as you did the swear jar, just letting that one go. There's no conversation.
I didn't say any swear words.
I know, and there's no direction that's
Party
appropriate.
on the top and business on the bottom. You know what I mean? A good name for just for a size, the reverse mullet. How would you do that? That would be like, instead of doing a shaggy foot, you do a shaggy head, something like that.
What would be a fun way to do that?
I don't know. We could brainstorm it. We could figure it out. Yeah, for sure.
Ponder the reverse mullet.
The reverse mullet. Yeah, it'd be a good time. So, well, you could. You already have like the unfinished. So you have the shaggy, and you have the extra wrapper. So closed foot, you would call that, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Closed foot, open head, open mouth. I don't know.
That's one cool thing. The Xeno I gave her yesterday, they come pre-punched.
Oh, yeah.
They're tins of 5. They come pre-punched, and
I like those little guys.
What's that?
So I like those little guys. The little tin pre-punched, ready to go out the gate.
Yeah, and I mean it's a petite Corona. It's not. I mean, it's a little bit smaller than a petite Corona as far as diameter, but not by much.
Yeah.
Xenos are fantastic for the cost. Like they're, $6-7, and they burn forever. They're a little bit lighter than what we tend towards. So
see, I don't know if that's true because like I've never smoked a Xeno and been disappointed. Every time I have one, I'm like, this hits really good.
Yeah.
For me, it's more of a construction flavor balance versus like strong. Like a lot of people assume that based on the type of cigars that I like and the fact that I'm a cigar geek, that like I just want the strongest thing you can give me, and that's just not true. It's, I want flavor out of a stick, and even though the Xenos may not be like stupid complex or anything like that, like they always hit real well for me.
Yeah,
and leave me feeling pretty satisfied with the flavor.
They definitely are. I mean, you definitely get a Nicaraguan bite out of it. Like there's a little bit of spice to it, but you're right. Like it's just a lack of complexity, I guess, is more what it is. It just doesn't. You get smoke, you get a little bit of flavor with it. You get a good smoking experience every time out of it, but it's not going to wow anybody.
Well, people with great palates that get into it are always like, oh, they want that complexity, and it's like, since I'm not the guy that's sitting there going like, oh, the note changed from this to this. That's not necessarily something that I ever really needed. It doesn't have to be like consistency is fine. It can be the same the whole way through for me. And I don't need that place where the tips change positions and okay, now it's dying down or it's building up. If it's good, it's good. So I guess my thought process is a little bit offset from most geeks, but
yeah, no, I mean, like this guy, like I said, that mentholy, eucalyptusy, whatever refreshingness of this is continuing, and it's building up for me now more than it was before, and I'm really enjoying that side of it. It didn't get stronger; it got more exciting, I guess would be the easiest way to put it.
Yeah,
and that's the fun for me in smoking different stuff, and that's why like a lot of the Connecticut's that you're like, not for me. I do enjoy them because they do something cool when I smoke it. We've talked about it 100 times. There's a bunch of cigars in there that I'm not a big fan of, but I appreciate them, and I like the fact that like, oh, this does a lot of cool stuff while you smoke it. It's just not the flavors that I like.
So a shorter cigar like this format too, a cigar with some girth and heft to it that's dense and short, like you heat up at the end, and temperature plays a huge role in how the cigar engages with you, depending on how hot it's burning, right? And like as you get closer down and that heat gets closer to your mouth, that experience changes as well. So I think particularly on a short cigar that burns slow like this, you get down to where we are now, and it's starting to heat up on you, that's going to change some of the effects too.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like, and this could be wrong, this just could be an assumption that I make. It's just like a Coreyism that's not true. But to me, on a longer cigar, when you start to get closer to the end and you get to that final third, like, if you have been a cigarette smoker, what happens at the end of the cigarette to your filter? Right?
Yeah.
That filter starts to dirty up on you. And I feel like as you're drawing, every time you draw on that cigar, you're pulling and changing what's left in the barrel. Like you are pulling in the tar, juices, whatever. You know, you're heating it up. You're bringing the smoke through, and that's going to inevitably affect the way that the cigar tastes, because you're kind of concentrating now.
Yeah.
Something that's been smoked through numerous times closer to the end. So I think that has a tendency to affect the build as well. Like the build up in flavor can be from, oh, okay, like I've been smoking this for an hour and everything I've smoked has come through this portion that's now burning, and it's hotter.
And I think that comes back to, like, we always talk about when on the initial light for the construction of the cigar and like enjoying it from that side. But, you know, that initial light can change that final third a lot too. Mm-hmm. So like if you had a bad light at the beginning and you only, you know, you smoked it all out of whack, excuse me, you smoke it all out of whack, it's going to be a completely different experience when you get in that the last little bit, you know, and that's the original concept behind the nub. Was it was only the sweet spot of the cigar. Like, you know, I can't tell you how many times a week I hear, oh man, I want to smoke just this part. And like, that was the origin of the nub, was just giving you the sweet spot of it.
Which I think is, like, in my head, kind of a misconception, because it can't be the sweet spot without the spot that ain't sweet, right?
Right.
Like, there's that build that happens there. Yeah. With that being said, the nub is always a cigar that, just like this one, misleads me. I always look at it and go like, yeah, okay, but look at the price and look at the size of it, and you kind of forget that, like, no, that's probably going to burn at least a Robusto, because of the way that they're constructed. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of factors and variables in there, and who can say for sure?
Yeah,
without like actual scientific testing or whatever. But
is there one cigar that stands out to you when you think about, like, it burns deceptively longer or shorter than you thought it was gonna? We've discussed the 2012s before, like those.
Oh, the 2012s, yeah, Oscar Valadares. Those things just,
yeah, they're going quick.
Poof. Yeah, it's a real quick burn. So that would be the one that burns way faster than you look at it and think you're going to get a little time out of it, and that's, in my opinion, an underfilled box press.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of go a little bit too much to the, cheating toward being safe, and then it just, that thing's gone real fast. I would say Nub and Roma Crafts are the two that I don't think about, like, whenever I light them up, I'll go like, oh, this is going to be an engagement.
The one, sorry, go ahead.
So, like, what do they call the ones that the Cro-Magnons with the caps that aren't perfect that I grabbed?
Segundos.
Okay, so those guys I've been grabbing, and it's not a small cigar.
They're Neanderthals, not Cro-Magnons.
Okay, and I'm going into it thinking, like, they do look a lot like some other unbanded cigars that I've been smoking a lot of recently. And
they weigh 3 times as much.
Yeah, it's density.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's like, oh no, this cigar, I'll still be smoking this thing in the morning.
Yeah,
you know, and that, like, I'll probably grab some more of those when or if you have them. Yeah,
they're fantastic. The one that stands out the most to me as far as that burn, the first one I ever noticed it on was a Roma Craft, but then after that it's the JFRs. The JFR Toros, they smoke forever.
So here's what's great. You're gonna like this. I make mistakes sometimes, and the Roma Craft unbanded looks a lot like that other unbanded that I've been smoking. So I usually cut in the cello, then smoke, yeah?
Oh, no.
And you forget about that super flat tip.
Yeah.
And the shape on that cigar has a taper on the foot. So I make the cut, and I lit the wrong end.
And how'd it go?
Horribly. The whole thing came
Just
unraveled,
unraveled.
because I smoked it from the wrong side.
Yeah.
Right. I cut the cap off, and then I lit that end, and it just goes.
It just
And
pops.
the cigar, there were certain points, and it just unraveled the whole way down. It was comical to look at. There were points in time where the wrapper was a solid 1.25 inches away from the binder. It was that unraveled. So be careful.
How was the flavor on it with no wrapper?
Yes.
Not great.
Nah.
Still-
I mean, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't bad. But it was a frustrating experience. That was actually when I was playing pool with Evan. And so I'm doing two things. And, like, if I had just been sitting there trying to smoke a cigar, it probably would have been a lot more disappointing than it was.
Yeah.
But I'm, like, trying to, as I take a puff, hold the wrapper back
Just like,
down.
yeah.
Like, okay, maybe we could just glue this back together.
Pretty please.
Yeah.
You carry around a vat of
Maybe
cigar glue with you.
Dude, I was like, yeah, dude, I need some pectin.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, something to actually hold it
was
together.
weird. So, what are your thoughts for next week? Because we haven't arrived at any conclusions. I think the only real logical thing.
I think the only chance
I think we
is
gotta skip.
yeah.
Because I'm gonna be gone Friday through Monday.
Yeah.
And you have usually the only time that on a situation like that we could sub out is by doing it like on a Monday morning or something.
Yeah.
And I won't be back, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's real likely. So you guys are gonna have to hang out without us next Sunday, and we shall return. We are going to call that September the 8th.
Yep.
We'll be back over here at Just a Tip, and we will be smoking the new one
Yeah.
from Dave Puskovich over at Leanin' House, the Fahrenheit 2500.
You should have some news for us from the Hoff event the day before, right? You going?
I believe I will be. Like I
Yeah.
said, my plan is to shoot over there like right after work. So I should
Perfect.
be able to get there at like 3:30, which is, relatively still early into the show.
Nice.
I told Sam Rao that I was going to bring my acoustic so I could save the masses from having to listen to Evan's jazz funk all day. But
No,
I
that's
think
awesome,
it'll end
brother.
up being it. So anything to close out with?
Nah, man, I think we got it. I think it was. I enjoyed this show.
Say the thing.
Is salut?
I didn't hit the button yet, so you can
Yeah.
keep talking about how much
No.
you like to do it. Wow.
No,
I pushed-
that's it. And salut.
Salut-y-loo.